bad days, and I'll have a couple good days, and I'll have 4 bad days, and it just keeps going on.
I wanted to stitch this with my buddy Randy because he and I are on very similar timeline trajectories as far as recovering from a narcissistic relationship. And I really appreciate his vulnerability here. And I just want to tell you, Randy, that, and anybody else going through this, the fact that you can be vulnerable, the fact that you're suffering, the fact that you're self-aware, that you're going through this introspective healing process shows me that you're not a narcissist. It shows me that you're a good person and you're going through the natural stage of grief, the natural stages of anger, the natural stages of, feeling okay one day and then the next minute really struggling. And I love that you're sharing this. I think that we need to feel like we're not alone, because in those moments, it's so easy to get down on ourselves when we are hung up yet again on these people that we cognitively know do not deserve it. We cognitively know that we would never take them back. And the further you get away from the relationship and the more you take them off that pedestal, you realize just how much you lowered your standards to be with them, and you ignored your inner voice. And you watched as your life went downhill when you were with them, and yet you still stayed with them. And I think for me, that's such the sticking point, is like, I lowered my standards for you and you still discarded me. It's the feeling of just being treated like a piece of human trash. I'm not used to that, because you have to be a really monstrous person to throw somebody away like a piece of trash. And so it hasn't happened to me a lot in my life. Like, people have to be pretty pathological to just totally dump somebody after months of abusing them and then go and find a replacement. They do not have the normal human affections that healthy people have. And I look often at the trauma that I went through being raised by parents that were like this, and I didn't end up like that. People choose to hurt other people. People choose to become toxic after trauma, and I did not choose that. I chose to be a good person. I chose to love. I chose to open my heart and be vulnerable, and so did you, Randy. So at the end of the day, I know that I'm not the narcissist, and I know that my grieving process shows me that every single day. I didn't go and just try to replace them. And I want to tell you right now that this is just not fucking linear. Like, I turned a total corner 5 months into my getting over his final discard. And this was after months of him dumping me over and over again to try to maintain power and control, because I was starting to learn about narcissism and I was starting to see it. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. And so he was scrambling for more power and control. And so he would do these soft discards over and over and over again. And it was brutal to get over, and it has been brutal to get over, because again, you go through the trauma at the end of the discards, those soft discards, and then the final discard, how they just completely treat you like you were worth nothing and then go and replace you with another poor, vulnerable soul who's in for it. And we all know it. But as you watch that happen, you're just like, how could you do that to me? And it's such a mind fuck. And you're going to go through all of those emotions. Like, even I'm 5 months in, I'm 6 months in now, but like about 5.5 months in, I felt extreme relief, because it was like all of a sudden any feelings I had for them were gone, and I felt happy and I felt hopeful. And it was like all of a sudden I was having like many good days in a row, and that will happen for you. But last night I watched Love at First Sight on Netflix, and it's all about this couple that meets on an airplane, and then they go to London and they have like a love affair. And I went on a trip to London with my ex in November. And so I saw all the sights, and they went at Christmas time, which is when we went. So I saw all the lights, and there were just so many signs of him in that movie. And I was alone. It was a Friday night. I had plans. I ended up canceling those plans because I wanted to stay home. I actually like being alone now. I love my life and I love spending time with myself. So I thought, oh, this is going to be like a fun, Friday night. I get to stay home. I don't have to go out, and I'm going to make myself some dinner, and I'm going to watch a movie on Netflix. I ended up crying myself to sleep last night because I just still cannot fathom how you are with somebody for a year and you travel the world and you meet each other's children, and you could just discard somebody like they mean nothing. Like, just run away. Just burn it down and then run away. Like, to me, it's just such cowardice. I have no respect for him. It's pathetic and sad for his victims, not for him, because at his age, he should have learned by now. And he won't. He refuses to. So I don't feel sad for him. I feel sad for his kids and his whatever. I feel sad for the people that he victimizes, but I don't feel sad for him. But I feel sad for me still. So you're still going to have days where you're just like, how the fuck could you do that to somebody? How could you just toss me like I meant nothing? And how could you not love me like a normal person loves somebody that has experiences with them like that and has time? And it's just not linear. And we're going to get through this. I'm sorry. I'm not going to give a pep talk right now because I'm still kind of feeling a little bit uneasy after last night. Like, last night really kind of screwed with me, having that come back again. But I know that, like, I'll have more good days, and the good days are way more abundant now than the bad. And I think that's what we need to look at. We also need to look at the growth that we've had, this amazing community that we've built. Randy, you've built an amazing community around this, and we need it, man, because this is just a mind fuck. Going through this, being discarded by a narcissist, is a mind fuck. So for everyone going through that, I love you. My daughter is home now. We are going to have a painting party. I made dinner for her. We are going to just stay another night in on a Saturday night, and I'm excited for it. And let's hold on to those good moments. Let's hold on to them, because we have people around us who love us, who would never discard us like that. Let's hold on to those. And Randy, you're one of those people for me.